Greetings and shalom. So this video is going to be about polygamy. Polygamy in the Americas is oftentimes considered taboo, but why is that? When you look at African, quote unquote, African customs, as we're going to see in this Shay video, polygamy is actually biblical. Now, a lot of our people have been conditioned by Christianity or, colonialism to believe that polygamy is evil because it's always based in sexual preferences or, being a sexual deviant. And when we look at real history, we know that the indigenous or aboriginal tribes practice polygamy, but not in a sexual deviant way. It was more about the community and not having certain women being left out or not having a man, quote unquote, to take care of them. But oftentimes in the current society, polygamy or having multiple women is more of a sexual deviant act than anything. And as a result of having no culture or quote unquote black culture, which is nothing but hip hop in the prison industrial system and having us dead last as the tail in this current society, quote unquote captivity of the so-called blacks. But oftentimes when a man, quote unquote, cheats and spreads his loins somewhere else, there's this mayhap or confusion because the man or male does not take care of his responsibilities here. Okay. I'm not saying all, but if the shoe fits, wear it. And I do believe that a lot of these women subconsciously in their mind know that a man can have more than one woman. As stated in the comics, the character Uncle Ben in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Just because you can have more than one woman doesn't make it right. If you cannot financially support yourself or your woman or women's, then why be in a quote unquote polygamous or have multiple wives? Okay, it just doesn't make sense, especially nowadays. Okay, a lot of people are batshit crazy, and one woman is already enough one headache. Do you need multiple or many headaches? And it's not to be demeaning to the so-called woman.
Polygamy in Africa, most marriage in Africa for men was a responsibility. It wasn't to have fun, even like to get married, even to have multiple wives.
As a brother just stated, marriage, at least in certain African tribes and customs, was based on seriousness. Okay, it was not based on having fun. Okay, and that's how wealth is transferred. But here, oftentimes in the Americas, we are being taught the Coming to America program. We want a liberated or independent woman.
Most of the time, in the many situations, it wasn't like, oh, I like those women so much. Right. It was a situation that you have to first, for example, like when a guy in a community was successful, he needs to get married from wife in a different neighborhood around the community, so to give people many chance. Because if you get married here, other community will be like, oh, he doesn't care about us. He should have married the kids of us. Right. And they will want you to marry the girl from that community. Wow. So then you find out people that are getting married just for opportunity, to give opportunity for community. Why? Because unlike here, when you have a daughter there, all your life is a worry.
And when you read the Hebrew text or the scriptures, there are many stories about King David or even Judah and his two Negress or Canaanite wives. Okay. And of course, the famous King Solomon. These are many examples of so-called black or Hebrewic people in the Bible. We must remember that the Bible is about law, history, and prophecy, the chronicling or the diary of the children of Israel and the relationship with the Most High, point blank period. But also here in the Americas, we have been deculturalized. A lot of our people do not know our language, customs, our heritage. Okay. Most people adhere to the historical narrative of 1619. We all arrived here on slave ships. Therefore, we know nothing in our history is slavery. That's not the case. But we also have to remember that they put a lot of the entertainers or boule Negroes as minstrels and influencers on the youth. For an example, Miss Beyonce Knowles. I do remember the song in 2000, Independent Women.
Question, tell me what you think about me. I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own rings. Only ring your celly when I'm feeling lonely. When it's all over, please get up and leave. Question, tell me how you feel about this. Try to control me, boy, you get dismissed. Pay my own condo and I pay my own bills. Always 50-50 in relationships. The shoes on my feet, I buy. The clothes I'm wearing, I buy. The rock I'm rocking, I buy. 'Cause I depend on me. If I want it, the watch I'm wearing, I buy. The house I live in, I buy. The car I'm driving, I buy. I depend on me. I depend on me. All the women independent, throw your hands up at me.
So now we're at the word narcissism, excessive interest in or admiration of oneself and one's physical appearance. Similar, vanity, self-love. Now, these music videos, a lot of these music videos are spell casting. Okay, they put spells or back spinning on a lot of these records. Music is very influential. Of course, a lot of it is, demonic, depending on the artist and what the message really is about. So right here we have some more words. Self-admiration, self-adulation, meaning what? Idolization, hero or hero worship, self-absorption, self-obsession, conceit, self-conceit, self-centeredness, self-regard, egotism, egoism, egocentricity, and egomania. So now we're at the psychology, and it states selfishness involving a sense of entitlement, a lack of empathy, and a need for admiration as characterizing a personality type. Now we see this rampant on TikTok, Instagram, and social media and TV or reality, which is not based on reality TV as well. So right here we have psychoanalyst, and it states self-centeredness arising from failure to distinguish the self from external objects, meaning what? Material things, house, cars, shoes, etc., either in very young babies or as a feature of mental disorder. Now, some would say that the woman doesn't really mature until after the age of 45, after she loses her appearance. But oftentimes, a lot of women compete with younger women because they, look at the younger woman with admiration or things that they didn't get to do in their youth or whatnot.
Your grandmother, your great grandmother actually could work with a black man with more trauma.
Because they understood that the black woman and the black man are on the same side. Now that we're all free and independent and we could do whatever we want to, why would we seek to, be one with the black man? We even think that being
Thank you. Clip it, slice it, put it on World Star. She said it, not me. Now that you're independent, you don't need to be with. There you go. There you go. And there you go. And there you go. There you go, black man. There it is. She's finally got one to say it.
Build businesses with us.
Your grandmothers and your grandmothers and your great grandmothers had more trauma and more stress and did it better.
You don't know how she's gonna end up. You don't know. You're worried if ever she's gonna have a roof or to have somebody to take care. And then there's this guy that's gonna take care of her. You don't care if she's the 5th or the 10th wife.
Wow.
Take it, bro. And that's how some people were getting a lot of wives just to give chance to community. And also one thing that was very important, if your brother or your family member passed away and left a wife with children,
you had to take
one of you guys have to take that wife. Like whether you like it or not, somebody have to take it.
Now, a lot of what this brother's saying is very biblical, and it's based in the Torah, the Hebrew book. And it states in Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 5, if brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her, meaning what? Consummation, sex, and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her.
But you're not gonna sleep with the wife, though.
No,
right?
you'll sleep with.
No,
I mean, you
no.
will take the wife.
Yeah, I'm just take it and say, yeah, okay, I'm gonna take care of you and make sure.
Yeah, but you can take a wife and just not sleep with.
Yeah, you can. You can kill both.
You're gonna take. Why? Because
I don't know why this seems taboo, but here in America, like I've stated so many times, when you have no culture, yes, it sounds strange. Now, is it strange that a lot of so-called black men or males in general sleep around, whether it's their brother's girlfriend or wife, vice versa?
And the reason why they were doing that, the family was doing that, because they didn't want a wife to live with their kids and get out there, get married with somebody that will mistreat those kids.
Right.
Now, you can tell this brother definitely has culture and knows customs and his language and where he's from. Okay. And let's read back in the Torah, Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 6, and it states, "And it shall be, in that the firstborn which she beareth shall exceed in the name of his brother which is dead, and that his name be not put out of Israel." Verse 7, "And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders and say, My husband's brother refuses to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel, and he will not perform the duty of my husband's brother. Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him, and if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her." Verse 9, "Then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders, and loose his shoe from off his foot, and spit in his face, and shall answer and say, So shall it be done unto that man that will not build upon his brother's house."
Because with the situation being very complicated, I mean, this guy is going to work hard and then maybe get home, barely have food for 2, 3 people. And then if he has a kid, it's for the 3. The other guy, kid, it's not my kids, right? So the family didn't want that to happen. So they wanted to keep the wife and the kids into the family. So somebody have to step up and take that as a responsibility.
Wow. I'm glad that in Western. I'm glad that in Western. I'm glad that in America.
Yeah. So polygamy most of the time wasn't by choice.
Right.
Yeah, it was by responsibility.